All right, if you're looking for graphic settings on PC for Warzone, well, you've come to the right place. I made a video showcasing the best graphic settings for Modern Warfare when the game first came out to improve your FPS and visibility, and the video did really well and helped a lot of people. But since then, I've tweaked my settings a lot, so I figured I'd make an updated graphic settings video showing the best settings for a mix of good quality graphics and good FPS. I'll also show you guys options for just completely improving your FPS if you don't care about graphics at all, and I'll also show you what I am now using and recommend for a good mix of the two. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, first things first, we're gonna go to the options menu, obviously.
Allah Allah, Allah Allah. Oh, lan nasıl bir güncelleme geldi bana? Alo? Heh. Ne yapayım? Yayın donuyor. Onu ayarlama. Olmaz. Geliyor da olmaz. Grafik ayarlarını bir ayarlayayım. Tamam, sen bana yaz bakayım.
And then navigate over to the graphics tab, and the very first thing for display mode, you're gonna want to put this in full screen. This is going to reduce your input lag and help frame slightly. If you really need to be alt tabbing all the time, you could change this to full screen borderless. Then after that, go down to your screen refresh rate and make sure this is set to whatever your monitor's refresh rate is, and then render resolution, make sure this is set to 100. After we go through all the settings, if your frames are still pretty bad, you could lower this a bit. Your game's gonna look really bad though if you do, but it would help your frames a lot. Now, for some reason, sometimes when you open up the game, your display mode gets changed and your render resolution gets changed. So sometimes you just need to double check to make sure those didn't get changed. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And then after that, we got aspect ratio. Set this to automatic. Sync every frame. VSync, you want that disabled. Custom frame limit, I have this set to custom, and then I click the advanced tab here, and I have gameplay custom frame rate limit set all the way to max, allowing my game to run at the maximum amount of frames my PC will be able to handle. And then for the menu custom frame rate limit, I have this set to 60, so my PC is not running at full power when I'm just sitting in the menus. There's no need for that. And after that, we got NVIDIA highlights. I disable this. If you have this enabled, it'll record random just like double kills and things you're not going to really care about being clipped. So I have this disabled. You can still record your clips if you're using the GeForce Experience overlay thing, so keep that in mind if you do want to record clips. For texture resolution, I would recommend high. When the setting is set to high, you'll see more color, detail, and surfaces, which makes the game look a lot better. If you're running on a low end or mid-spec PC, I would turn this down to normal. Then for the texture filter, I have this set to low. For particle quality, I have this set to low again. Then bullet impacts and sprays, I have this enabled. This will just show where your bullets are hitting on a wall or door. So right there, that's personal preference. It's not really gonna affect your frames at all. For tessellation, I have this set to near. Again, if you're only looking to improve frames or you're on a low end or mid-spec PC, you could completely disable this. For shadow map resolution, I would set this to low because shadows are going to impact your performance a lot. So make sure that's set to low. For cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows, make sure these are both enabled. That's just gonna make things load a little bit quicker for you and doesn't really affect frames at all. You could disable these if you don't have a lot of RAM in your PC, because it says right here, enabling this option makes the game use additional memory. Particle lighting, set this to low. Ray tracing, if you do have this option, make sure this is disabled. That's gonna impact your performance a lot. For ambient occlusion, make sure this is disabled. For screen space reflection, I have this set to low. Again, if you're on a low end or mid-spec PC, I would recommend disabling that. That'll improve your frames a little bit. And then for anti-aliasing, make sure this is set to SMAA1X. I used to have this on the T2X, but it looked a little blurry, and lowering this helped my frames a lot. If you're still having performance issues with this on SMAA1X, just completely turn it off. I recommend SMAA1X because when it's completely off, the game doesn't look the best, and like the edges on everything are like really jagged. So that's why I have this set to the SMAA1X here. Depth of field, I have this disabled. This is kind of a personal preference setting, and I'll show you guys what the difference between having it disabled and enabled is. So when it's disabled, if you look around like the red dot on your crosshair here, it's completely visible. It's not blurry. There's like no depth of field effect. If you enable this, you'll see a little blur around your red dot there. If you enable this, you'll see a little blur around your red. If you look around, are like really jagged. So that's why I have this set to the SMAA1X here. Depth of field, I have this disabled. This is kind of a personal preference setting, and I'll show you guys what the difference between having it disabled and enabled is. So when it's disabled, if you look around like the red dot on your crosshair here, it's completely visible. It's not blurry. There's like no depth of field effect. If you enable this, you'll see a little blur around your red dot there, and that's kind of like the depth of field effect. I might experiment with having this on to see if it helps me like focus a little better when I'm like ADS at people or whatnot. But that's kind of a personal preference setting there, whatever looks best to you. For filmic strength, I have this turned all the way up because if you look down here, if your anti-aliasing is not set to the SMAAT2X or the otherwise, so make sure that's all the way up or at 1 point. And then film grain, turn this all the way down because it will add view before. A good starting point would be 103. That's what I use. I like it a lot. And then if you click really, and that just looks like crap, so you don't want that. Then we're gonna navigate over to the general tab, and for field of view, it's really personal preference. If you've never really messed with field of view before, a good starting point would be 103. That's what I use. I like it a lot. Then if you click here and go to advanced, under ADS field of view, if this is set to independent, when you ADS, your field of view will be locked to the default field of view of the game, so it'll make everything look more zoomed in and the enemies, and that's why I would recommend for a shape or form. I'd appreciate if you can.
Geldim bu. Ayarlara bakıyordum ya YouTube'dan. Kontrol. Sensitivity. Nerede bu? Güncelleme gelince hepsi gitti ya. Ne güzel ayarlamıştım. Bunları dörde mi çekmiş? Çok değil mi? Neyse bir ayar çekeriz. Tam da emin değilim ama. Bakalım ne olacak. Bulundura gerek. Ayarlı. Tamam. Mouse kaldı geldi.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
One down. Enemy down. Move.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Dead.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Enough training. Now we face the enemy for real.
İnternet gidiyor mu gene ya? Ey Allah'ım yarabbim.
simple. Secure more cash than the enemy. Set a drop point for your team.
Nereye atlayalım?
Anyone need this? Anyone need this?
İyi hadi atlayalım bakalım. Oğlum bir karar verin lan. Nereye gitti bunlar?
Located the supply cache. Secure that position.
Burada mı?
I see the device.
Bu neydi?
I see movement.
Buradan ses geliyor.
Enemy.
Enemy down.
Primary LT marked. Extract standing by.
Enemy down. Enemies here.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I see movement.
Aa!
I'm here. Get ready to move. Okay, I've got you.
I see movement.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Setting charge.
Soldier incoming. New objective identified.
Ah, come on.
Allied UAV overhead.
I'm with you again. Keep going. I'll go this way. Enemies here.
I see the device.
Ne alsak buradan? Bunu mu alsak? Yok. Daha.
Have you? Clean kill.
Alo? Alo? Sesimi
Objectives
beğenmedi.
updated. Move to the next location.
I see the device.
Enemy personal radar overhead. Hostile attack chopper carrying cash. Shoot it down. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Allied UAV overhead.
I see movement.
Contract complete. All supply boxes located. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemy dropping into the AO. Enemy soldier incoming.
Contact.
Enemy down. Move. Fight through it. Stand up. I'm with you.
I see movement.
Aa! Of. Arkadaş. Normalde bir tane armor koyar, 3 tane koyacağı çıktı. Neredeyiz biz? Gördüm seni. Piç, piç, piç. Beni ne ara gördün ki? Tamam.
Secure all cash you can find. Enemy UAV overhead.
Here!
Enemy soldier incoming.
Enemies here! Enemies here!
Enemy soldier incoming.
Enemies here! Dropping ammo.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Aa! Nerede bizim adamlar ya? Aa, kapı çalıyor. Neredeyim lan ben?
Stop! Have you?
Ağzına tükürdüm. Eme basmıyorum ki ben. Nasıl çıkıyor oradan o? Ateş var. Var. Dikkat versem. Var canım. Beni mi alacaktım ben? Allah Allah. Yayın donuyor mu ya? Yayın var mı?
Use this time to practice. We'll be deploying soon. Hostile dropping into the area.
What? Let me show you how this works.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch it out.
Shit. I'm gonna kill it, fucking machine!
Dropping into the AO. Practice is over. The real fight begins now.